Hi YouTube, we're here in Worcester. We just watched a film at The View, which was about a famous figure skater who was in a very abusive relationship. And I wanted to do a video about it. I was thinking about doing this video, about abuse, but I'm actually not sure what to say now. I've actually started the video. Apart from it's like really wrong, and could do again somewhere quiet, couldn't it? But
some people stay in a relationship because they feel love and they love that person, but sometimes it gets to the certain point where enough is enough.
Yeah, that's very true. I mean, I've been lucky in my relationship. I've only been hit once in a relationship. I've only had like blood on me once. But for people who stay in those kind of relationships who get much worse than that, then I feel really sorry for them. I can understand where they're coming from because I've been very low in my past, so I can understand how you can love someone so much that you can't let go of them. I can understand that. But that bell's interrupting me. But I feel really sorry for them, how they stay in those kind of relationships.
It gets to the point where you fear for your own life.
Yeah.
And you don't know if you're gonna wake up the next day alive or whatever.
Yeah. I think for me, it was a cheating rather than any kind of physical abuse. I can understand why people stay in those kind of relationships as well, because when you feel really attached to someone, you don't want to let them go, and you just kind of get stuck in a rut, and then depression can take over. It's so noisy this road, isn't it? I don't know if people can hear me on YouTube, but I'm trying to do a serious video here. But yeah, the depression can take over and you can just end up staying with that person and just, yeah. What did you want to say?
It just gets to the point where you feel like you're worthless, it's all your fault.
I hope I don't make you feel like that.
No, I'm not saying you do. I'm just saying, in general. It just gets to the point where you feel useless. You feel like it's your fault. Or you just feel useless. You feel like it's all your fault. Nothing you do is right. You wake up in the morning, they're aggressive. In the afternoon, they can be aggressive. They could just switch at any time. They can be nice 1 second, and then they go all psycho. And you fear for your life. You don't know if you're going to wake up the next day alive or what. You just want to escape, but you have nowhere to go to. And you don't want to tell people, your family or anything. Because you don't want them to get involved. You don't want to feel weak. But obviously, in them situations, that's what happens to you. You feel really weak. You find it hard to trust anyone when you get out of that situation. It's hard for you to open up. You sometimes flinch even when they're like going to reach for something. You think they're going for your face or something, and you just quickly jump.
I don't make you feel like that, do I?
No.
It's one of the
That's sometimes why I feel so hard to open up about things. Yeah. And I only just told him today what happened in my past. I felt, it's hard to explain, but yeah. But in the end, I just had enough, and I got him before he got me again, and yeah, I just left it at that. I used to even do it when I was with women, when I used to be with them. I used to flinch.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't want to go that far with him. Oh, you can't see it, but the water's like literally frozen.
The water's really hot.
That's coming up there. Are we going this way?
Yeah, there's a bridge there.
Or is that where the bus stop is? See- I think that's the bridge in the light. Yeah, it must be. That's the bridge. So yeah. I think he guessed it or something one, didn't you?
Yeah,
But I just didn't.
Should I say something? Yeah, I've been thinking for a while that Daniel's like hiding something from his past, because every time I talk about anything serious, he kind of goes quiet, or I think, hang on a minute, he only tells me about 1 or 2 relationships and he's like 30, 33.
How rude!
I mean 32, sorry.
I'm not 30 yet. I'm trying about a year.
I mean 32. Yeah, and I'm thinking, hang on a minute, hasn't he had more relationships than 2 and he's 32?
I've had a few relationships, but one was really bad.
Yeah, he's only just told me about one that was really bad, which I'm not going to say on YouTube because it wouldn't be fair. But I was just going to do a video about domestic abuse and abuse in general, whether it's family doing it.
I think that's where most of my anger comes from, because of that situation.
I mean, as a child, we did have quite a bit. I don't know, it's hard to. Yeah.
That's why I like to walk away from an argument.
Yeah.
I don't want that situation to occur again.
I mean, my childhood, yeah, it did feel like abuse, my childhood, but, you know. But I've been lucky with most of my relationships. I mean, I haven't had it too rough, but, I mean, I've only been hit once in a relationship, but I feel sorry for people who've been hit a lot more. I mean, I went back to the person that hit me, I went back to him, and it gradually got worse, where he was looking on the internet all the time for different men, inviting different men round to his flat, and that gradually got worse. And after I left him, I did kind of shut down for about 3 years. Even when I went into other relationships, there was just no emotion or anything there, on my point of view. I just felt like in these relationships that only lasted a few months, and they could kiss me or anything, and I just couldn't reciprocate the love. Yeah.
I know that feeling.
You know that feeling?
Yeah.
I just couldn't reciprocate the love, because I just kind of I think you can give it all in a relationship until you completely burn out.
Yeah.
And then you just kind of shut down, and you just can't express yourself after that for maybe a couple of years or whatever.
Yeah.
Depends how long you've been with this person that's abused you, but yeah.
So out of all my relationships, you're the only one that I feel happy in.
Yeah. Well, that's good. That's good, isn't it? Yeah.
It took some time, obviously.
And you know what? It's usually people. I'm not saying you,
Careful. I can't talk about
but it's usually people who've been abused who abuse other people. Because this person I was with, he was abused a lot, and yeah, and it did feel like it was, yeah.
I don't know, because I understand what you're saying, because some people turn into that way.
Well, what's that
But
called?
I haven't turned into that kind of way.
No, I'm not saying
And I
you.
pray that
I'm just saying this person.
No, I understand what you're saying, because like some kids get fiddled with when they're kids, and then when they get older, they become.
No, I don't mean sexually.
Like
I mean physical.
Or they get beaten when they're children and become violent when they're older.
Yeah. Or they've got that streak in them that can just turn just like that.
I mean, I can get angry. I can switch. I just try it out, but that's why I'd rather walk out and let it calm down.
Yeah.
Because I don't want to switch.
You know what? I've never really seen his temper not properly.
And you, hopefully, you never will.
Yeah. Oh, come on.
But like I say, I'm not the first one to throw the first punch. I let them go at it first.
I've never threw a punch, so I don't know.
I let them throw the first punch.
I've never threw a punch.
And then, like I say,
the only time I hit someone was when I was a kid, and some dad called
Some
kid called my dad a spastic, and my dad had just collapsed with a brain hemorrhage at the time. So, thank you. And should we stand down here because it's quieter? At the time, my dad had collapsed with a brain hemorrhage, so I was very sensitive at that time, and plus I was only 8 years of age as well.
Yeah.
So we're going back many, many years. But,
like I said to people, if they're going to punch me, they better be able to knock me out, because if not, they better be able to run.
Yeah. But I never... Yeah. And I think that's why I put loads of weight. I'm in my 20s, you know. Because of... Yeah.
Well, situations.
Yeah, that situation, yeah. I have to be really careful what I say. Yeah.
I don't know, I put on loads of weight, thinking if I put on loads of weight...
You put on loads of weight thinking that can come...
You don't feel it as much, but you do.
You get comfort out of the food, because I remember that feeling. I remember getting comfort out of the food, and I remember getting comfort from that direction.
But it's not the way to go, even though it's hard.
And then I was in hospital the once, and I asked my mum to come and visit, and she refused to.
Because of a certain person.
Yeah, because of a certain person. Yeah.
But if your parents loved you that much, well, your mother, if she loved you that much, she would have come no matter what.
Yeah.
I mean, my nan or my mum or my dad would have come. Alright, they might have had a bit of a bicker with the person, but they still would have come.
Yeah.
I mean, when that person cracked me on the head with a cup, it was like 12 at night, and my nan come rushing up the hospital.
You cracked your head with a cup?
Oh, this is when I was going out of Barbara, and someone lunged for her, and she had Caden in her arms.
Yeah.
So it's me and the person going to a punch up, but then they cracked me on the head with a cup.
Yeah.
And then I got to the hospital about 12 at night, and my nan came, and I told her to go home, but she wouldn't listen. I told her if she didn't go home, I wasn't going to be seen. But she's stubborn. She wouldn't go.
Yeah. But yeah, that was a very deep film about domestic abuse and everything, and yeah.
I could feel her pain.
I mean, watching a film like that makes you realise that in America it's just as hard as here. I don't think people say it's hard here, but I would say it's just as hard in other countries.
Some people think it's easy to get out of a relationship like that, when it's not.
No, it definitely isn't. No. It's really hard to get out of a relationship like that.
Or they say, oh, you got a lucky escape, but you didn't. How did you get a lucky escape?
You have to be really strong to get out of a relationship like that. It takes a lot of... Yeah.
I'm thinking, how can you get a lucky escape if you're getting battered?
Yeah. And people don't understand why you've changed, and it's because you've shut down. And people are like, oh, he's changed like loads, and I'm like, well, yeah, that's how you deal with. That's sometimes how you can deal with a lot of. There's like either constant arguing or constant. Yeah.
That's why I always ask people when they say that they're in a violent relationship and that. I always ask them questions. Why are you with them and all this? Because I want to understand other people's point of view. Because obviously I've got my own point of view.
Well, you can talk a bit as well.
I've got my own point of view of what happened to me, and obviously everyone else has got their own point of view. Like when I say, oh, why are you still with them and all that, I can understand when they say, oh, they're scared and they're still in love with that person. I know it's hard to escape that person, but in all fairness, if you don't get the courage, I know it's hard, because believe me, it was hard for me. If you don't get the courage to break free and escape, you never will. And you'll be so scared that every time you look over your shoulder, you'll find out they're going to jump out from anywhere. So I know how it feels, because I'll tell you the truth. I was with someone, I'm not mentioning names, and they gave me a black eye. They broke 2 of my ribs. Well, I might as well. And yeah, it's that situation where it's so scary that in the end...
You just told me about half an hour ago.
I know.
You've only just told me half an hour ago.
And in the end, I thought I was that scared that I ended up lashing out on them, and I battered them.
Which is understandable, really.